Have you ever felt shy in social situations? It's a common feeling, isn't it? We've all been there, standing in a crowded room, feeling like a wallflower. But it doesn't have to be that way. The fear of social situations, commonly known as social anxiety, can indeed be overcome. You see, the secret to becoming more sociable lies in communication. It's about breaking the ice, initiating conversations, and making connections. It sounds daunting, I know, but it's simpler than you think. Imagine this. You're at a gathering, and there's someone you'd like to talk to. But how do you start? It's all about finding a common interest. Maybe it's the music playing in the background or the food being served. A simple, "I love this song, do you know who sings it?" Or, "This appetizer is delicious, have you tried it?" can kickstart a conversation. It's as simple as that. Another effective technique is to ask open-ended questions. These are questions that can't be answered with a simple yes or no. They require a bit more thought and can lead to interesting discussions. For example, instead of asking, "Do you like this event?" try asking, "What do you think about this event?" It's a small adjustment, but it can make a world of difference. Now let's talk about compliments. Who doesn't love a good compliment, right? It's a surefire way to break the ice. Remember though, the key to a great compliment is sincerity. It should come from the heart. So, if you notice something genuinely admirable about someone, don't hesitate to mention it. These are just a few techniques to get you started. It might seem like a lot to remember, but don't worry. The more you practice, the more natural it will become. And remember, everyone feels a little shy sometimes. You're not alone in this. So the next time you find yourself in a social situation, take a deep breath, muster up some courage, and break the ice. Remember, the first step to overcoming shyness is initiating the conversation. Now that you've broken the ice, what's next? You may wonder. Well, the answer lies in mastering two crucial elements of communication: listening and responding. You see, conversation is not just about talking. It's a two-way street. It's about hearing what the other person has to say, understanding their point of view, and then responding in a way that keeps the dialogue flowing. Listening is an art. It's about more than just hearing words. It's about being present in the conversation, showing genuine interest, and understanding the emotions behind the words. It's about noticing the pauses, the change in tone, the unspoken words. It's about showing empathy and validating the other person's feelings and thoughts. So how do you show that you're listening? Well, you could nod your head to show agreement, use expressions like "I see" or "That's interesting" to show that you're engaged. Ask follow-up questions to show that you're interested and want to know more. Now let's talk about responding. The way you respond can make or break a conversation. An effective response is one that is thoughtful, relevant, and encourages further discussion. It's not about agreeing or disagreeing, but about keeping the conversation flowing. For instance, if someone shares a story about their recent trip to Rome, an effective response could be, "Wow, that sounds amazing. I've always wanted to visit Rome. What was your favorite part of the trip?" This response shows that you've listened, you're interested, and you want the conversation to continue. Remember, a good listener is not just a passive receiver of information, but an active participant in the conversation. By listening attentively and responding appropriately, you can create meaningful connections, deepen your understanding of others, and become a better conversationalist. So, the next time you find yourself in a conversation, remember to listen and respond with intention. It may take some practice, but trust me, it's worth it. Listening and responding appropriately is key to maintaining a conversation. It's not just about what you say, but also how you listen and respond. So are you ready to take your conversations to the next level? But what about nonverbal cues? How important is body language? Well, it's actually a key player in human communication. It's like the unspoken dialogue that accompanies our words, and believe it or not, it can make or break our interactions. So, how can we use body language to our advantage? How can we project confidence without uttering a single word? Let's delve into it. Firstly, let's talk about posture. Standing tall doesn't just make you appear taller, it also broadcasts a message of self-assuredness. When you maintain good posture, you're telling the world, "I'm confident, I'm capable, and I'm not afraid to take up space." It's a nonverbal assertion of your presence. Next up, we've got eye contact. Now this can be a tricky one. Too little and you risk seeming disinterested or evasive. Too much and you might come off as intense or even confrontational. The key here is balance. Aim to maintain eye contact around 2/3 of the time during a conversation. This communicates attentiveness and interest without crossing into uncomfortable territory. Now let's consider our arms. Crossed arms can create a barrier, suggesting defensiveness or closed-off emotions. Instead, try to keep your arms relaxed by your sides or use them to animate your words. This displays openness and receptivity, encouraging others to engage with you. Remember, body language is a dance of sorts, a silent conversation that happens alongside our spoken words. It's all about balance and authenticity. If you're feeling nervous, that's okay. Acknowledge it, but then try to channel that energy into positive, confident body language. Stand tall, maintain eye contact, and keep your body open. And what if you slip up? That's okay too. We're all human, and we're all learning. What matters most is your willingness to try, to learn, and to grow. Your body language can speak volumes, so ensure it's conveying the right message. So you've got the basics down, but how do you improve? Well, just like a musician practicing a new piece of music or an athlete training for the big game, improving your social skills requires practice. And not just a little practice, but consistent, regular practice. Now you might be wondering, how do I practice being social? Great question. There are many ways to practice, and the best part is, you can choose the methods that suit you best. One of the most effective ways to practice is by joining clubs or organizations. This will not only expose you to different kinds of people, but also give you an opportunity to interact with them in a controlled environment. You'll find yourself learning how to navigate conversations, handle disagreements, and maybe even lead discussions. Another great way to practice is by attending events. These could be anything from a local community gathering to a large conference. The key here is to step out of your comfort zone and interact with people you might not usually meet in your day-to-day life. This will help you to broaden your horizons and improve your adaptability. But what if you're not quite ready for that level of social interaction? That's perfectly fine. You can start by practicing with friends. Try engaging them in deeper conversations, or perhaps even role-play different social scenarios. This will provide a safe space for you to make mistakes and learn from them. Remember, it's okay to start small. The goal is not to become the life of the party overnight, but to gradually improve your comfort level in social situations. So, take it one step at a time. Practice a little every day, and before you know it, you'll see progress. But most importantly, be patient with yourself. Change doesn't happen overnight. It's a process, a journey, and it's okay to take your time. After all, Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither are great social skills. So keep practicing, keep learning, and keep pushing yourself. As the old saying goes, practice makes perfect. Like any other skill, becoming more social requires practice. But what if you stumble along the way? It's a question we all ask ourselves, isn't it? But here's a secret. Stumbles are not roadblocks, they're stepping stones. Social interactions can be a bit like a dance. Sometimes we trip over our own feet, and that's okay. When you find yourself in an awkward situation, remember, it's not the end of the world. It's a chance to learn, to grow. Take a breath, acknowledge the moment, and then let it go. Don't dwell on it. Don't let it consume you. Instead, use it as a learning experience. And when you're learning, you're bound to make mistakes. It's part of the process. Don't be too hard on yourself. Remember, everyone has been there at some point. It's these experiences that shape us, that make us stronger, more resilient. Stumbles and setbacks are part of the journey. Don't let them discourage you. Becoming more social can seem daunting, but with these steps, it's entirely achievable. We've taken a journey together, breaking the ice and learning how to listen and respond effectively. We've discovered how our body language can speak volumes and how practicing these skills can lead to improvement. And importantly, we've also learned how to overcome setbacks because they're just part of the process, not the end of it. Remember, it's not about changing who you are, but rather enhancing your natural qualities. It's about making connections, understanding others, and letting yourself be understood. It's about embracing the beauty of human interaction in all its forms. Now, it's your turn to step out and put these lessons into practice. Start small, go at your own pace, and remember, every conversation is a step forward. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with others who might benefit. Remember, your journey to becoming more social starts now.